Now we've made the petals, we can start dusting them. Just dust the bases with a little bit of limey green, tone down with white if necessary, white or cornflower. Just dust the centre, just a little bit going up towards the centre of the flower, just a little bit. Right, when you've made the 5 petals and dusted them, you need to tape them together. I'm going to use half width tape, so fold it, cut it in half with scissors. I find it easier to attach the tape further away from the top and then work my way up to the top. You're less likely to disturb anything that's up there, and also you can get tighter up towards it. Bend each petal backwards. There's a definite arrangement that you need to observe when you're taping the petals onto the thing. You don't want them in a spiral. So if you think of a clock, you wire the first one on at 10 o'clock, then the second one at 2 o'clock, so 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, each time wind it round. The next one at 6 o'clock, so that one's opposite those two. And the other two just fill in the gaps. The tape down the stem. Go over again to fill in any gaps. This time I'll come back up. If you run your fingers up and down, it will help to even out the tape, get rid of the ridges. Like when they're in place, you can just arrange them so they're out a little bit more. And we need to dust the back of them with a little bit of plum blossom tint. Just doing this sort of a bit of a line and then a little bit at the top. Just finish off by just bending over a little bit. Unfortunately, most of these flowers, when they grow, that you don't see the beauty of them because they tend to be bent right over. But I think for our purposes, we'll just bend them a little bit. And just at that point, they have 2 small leaves. I haven't got a template for that, we just cut them freehand. I'll just show quickly a different way of attaching the wire. This is if you want the wire to go further along the leaf. Another way of doing it is with a veining rolling pin. Roll a sausage of flour paste and insert the wire through it and flatten it a bit. If you leave the end round so you can see where you're going, and then head in the direction of the point. Then move the rolling pin over so that the groove is then flattened. And the wire is squashed in between the paste. You can then make it thinner with your rolling pin, either side, smooth it out a bit. And to make these thin little leaves, which go at the top, just boat shape. Dog bone around it just to smooth the edge. Put it in the rose veiner and vein it. Pinch along the edge. Bend it backwards. These are just small leaves. You need 2 of them for each flower really. Once you've made your leaves and they've firmed up a little bit, you need to dust them with a little bit of dark green. I've got forest here, but I'll probably incorporate a little bit of the lighter green with it. So for the small leaves, just go down the centre. For these leaves, just down the centre, but fanning it out to the edges. Put a little bit of plum on the edge there too. Just makes it a bit more interesting. Tidy up the back. Just dust this one down too. Make some of the colour go out to the sides. I'll just put a little bit of plum on the edge. Just gives it a bit of interest. When you've made your leaves, you need to wire them together. Again, I'm using half width Nara tape. Start with the centre one. And the wire down, the tape down the bottom. Take it up to the edge at a bit of an angle. And take the two medium ones. One on one side, one on the other. Take them down a little bit just to anchor them before I put the others in. Then put the two smaller ones in. Last one in. When they're all in place, we can arrange them. When they're all in place, you can just adjust the dusting. Or a little bit more plum down one side. And just need to spray them with glaze. It just really makes the colours come alive and gives it a bit of a sheen. The more you spray, the more shiny it will be. And then set that aside to dry, which won't take long, so it's not sticky when you're taping the things together. To make the bud, take a piece of white flower paste about the size of a Malteser, perhaps slightly smaller. Fold over a hook in the end, pop it in, don't need any glue, just anchor it well onto the wire and shape it into a bit of a cone shape, and then pinch out 3 grooves going down, 3 little fan bits. There are 5 petals, but you need 3 of these. 5 just looks too busy, too many. Just work at it a bit to make them nice and fine and even. Pinch it a little bit, extend it, and then twist them round, twiddle them round in a spiral. Twist the top a little bit. Again, anti-clockwise, and then with the cutting wheel extend the line a little bit down towards the stem. Then just dust a bit of green at the base. And a little bit of plum, just catching the edges, just a little bit. Then I'm going to tape down the wire to make it look a little bit more chunky, a bit more like the size of the stem. And then put a bit of fold it over. It's easier to fold it over when it's dried a bit. The two small leaves are then wired at the top there. Just going to pull them down so they're nice and tight, so no wire shows. Top there, or hopefully. Right, I'm just going to take the two little leaves on the back of the flower. Just as the flower bends. If you just brush the dust along the stem a little bit, and you just give it a quick blush of plum. Make them into a little bit of an arrangement. And a bud. And there you have it. Christmas rose.